Hello, everyone. This is Teacher Bella again. Did y'all miss me? Well, I missed you a lot. And I hope you're feeling well because today we are going to start a new series called the Job Interview Bootcamp. Okay? So let's begin. First episode is Stop Saying I'm Fine. Because I'm fine kinda it's kind of simple. It's too simple. It's not wrong. If you are nervous, sometimes you say, I'm fine. But that might be a deal breaker. Sometimes interviewers, they are looking for people who can elaborate deeper conversations. And I'm fine is just not the cut. So we are going to give you explanations and other examples, other options, okay? So for example, if you say I'm fine, you kind of get stuck in the robot mode. So it's like most candidates fail the likability test in the first minute of conversation because usually the interviewers asks, "How are you doing today?" And you be like, "I'm fine, thanks." Really? No, I'm fine anymore. We are going to use a very nice solution here. It's a technique called the ping-pong technique. Okay? The formula is simple. First, you give a positive answer, a different one from I'm fine. And then you add a pivot question. Okay? So let me give you an example. I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. I'm doing great. Doing great is similar to I'm fine, but it's not so robotic and it's not so overrated because I'm fine. It's saturated. People already they're already tired of this answer. So you might want to look for synonyms, okay? So, different expressions that can make your speech level up. So, for example, I'm doing great or I'm good. I'm good is perfect. It's very simple, similar to I'm fine, but a little bit different, okay? I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. So, thank you for your interest in knowing if I am fine or not. How is your week going so far? How are you doing so far? How is your ear doing so far? Anywho, I like the week one because you can get a general knowledge of the person. Usually, the person lights up when you ask about them because like, oh, no one asked me about my week. Thank you for asking. So it sparks the interest. Okay, so it's important to be interested in the interviewer as well. Okay, so for example, I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. How is your week going? Or, I'm good. Uh, if it's an online interview, you might say, can you hear and see me clearly? Oh, yes, I can. Blah, blah, blah. Perfect. I'm ready to go. How are you doing? So you give a feedback, you give a positive answer, you make up conversations. So you are like, oh, can you hear and see me clearly? Even though, even though you know the person is hearing and seeing you clearly, you ask because you can break the ice with this types of question. It's an icebreaker and it's nice, okay? So it's not silent, complete silence. So like, I'm good. That's so awkward, right? I understand. So let me mock up a conversation for you. Hi, how are you doing today? Oh, I'm good. Can you hear and see me clearly? Yes, I can. Perfect. I'm ready to go. How are you doing, by the way? How are you doing? By the way. By the way, it's like por sinal, okay, in Portuguese. So we use it to say, por sinal, and how are you doing? So it's very nice to use it. How are you doing, by the way? It's very nice. It's a good expression for interest showing, okay? Now, the forbidden list, which I brought for you because some people use this many times when they are in an interview. And these are mustn't. You can't. You don't, please. Don't use these phrases in an interview. They are too basic or too negative. People tend to be like, damn, why is she talking like that? Why are they talking like that? Don't use it. Let's pay attention to the list. The first answer that you should never give is so, which is like mais ou menos, right? You are always good. I know sometimes we are not good. But for the interviewer, uh, that's not important. He wants to know you are good to be there. You are nice. You're feeling well because you are there having this interview, especially if you really want this job. So, for example, you would never say, how are you doing? So, but that's not good. That's negative. So, it's not going to get you a good impression. The second one is talk about your day. Never start with a complaint. So if you had a bad day before the interview, the interviewer is not your mom, your father. He is not, or they are not these people. They are not interested if you had a bad day because it gives you a bad impression again. It sounds like you are complaining, and they are not a therapist. So, for example, hi, how's your day doing? I'm tired. It's been a long day, or traffic was really bad. Never say that. You can complain about traffic to the secretary before you enter the interview. For example, if you arrive late to the interview, you might say to the secretary, I'm super sorry I was late. Is Fulano there to interview me? Secretary might say, yes, but you are very late. And then you say, I'm so sorry, traffic was really bad. But to the secretary who's going to walk you towards the interviewer, but never to the interviewer. He doesn't want to know. He can't know unless he asks, okay? And then you have to be truthful because you also cannot lie. But sometimes we have to mask the truth a little bit, but not all the truth because that is also bad. We'll see that in a minute. The second one, and you. And you is a little bit lazy, okay? It's lazy English. Usually you'd prefer to use a full sentence, okay? And how are you? And what about you? So, and you is very lazy. For example, here we say, and how are you doing? How is your week going so far? So far, it's like até aqui, so far, because the week is not over, right? All right. Oops, sorry. So let's talk about power vocabulary for this lesson. This lesson, we have a few words that are very good for your just to avoid using good or fine. For example, instead of using fine, which is very tiring, we already know this word. Everybody says I'm fine. So instead of saying I'm fine, you can say I'm great. I'm doing great. Great, doing well. So it's nice to change, you know? It's a nice switch. Now, instead of happy, you can say excited, looking forward to this. It's a bit more polite and it's very nice. Instead of saying busy, you can use the word productive because if your day was busy, it sounds negative, like, oh my God, it was a busy day, or it was a very productive day. Blah, 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 blah. So, if it was a busy day full of things, you did a lot of things, you don't say busy, you say productive, because busy gives you a negative impression, and we don't want that, okay? So now, your homework is the mirror challenge. I have a challenge for you. You are going to stand in front of a mirror, or you can open your frontal camera, okay, your selfie, and you have to imagine the interviewer asking questions, or you can even make up questions like, hi, how are you? You can create these questions. And then you are going to answer using option A and option B, which are here, okay? Switching the words to try to make a better impression. And then you are going to do it 3 times until you can say it without looking at the paper, without looking at this PDF, okay? So this is your homework. Also, we have in our platform, we have a very nice tool with AI, which you can also use to practice your interview, which is the Rusher AI. You are going to discuss the vocabulary with Rusher, and he's going to help you with everything, okay? I hope you like this class. This course will be amazing. I'll see you next lesson so we can talk about our next topic. But for now, I'm good to go. Kisses from Teacher Bella.